Today we're going to be learning how to create hand-drawn typography as a whole art piece. I'm using a tablet to do this just because it's easier to demonstrate, but it works just as well using pen, pencil and paper. I'm going to be creating the message "Just Breathe." So in order to get that central, I'm going to start with the word "just" and measure out those 4 letters along that top space. So I've marked the centre of the page and then measured out where the 4 letters should be so that they fill it evenly. And then using my pencil, I'm going straight in to draw out that word. I want it to look elongated and as if someone is saying it slowly and calmly. So I'm using a swirled letter form curl in the bottom of the J. And you'll see then, to make sure that that top of the U is hitting the same place, I've just drawn a little line across the tops of the marks that I've made to make sure the word is straight. And from here, I'm measuring out the placement of the word breathe. I've measured a finger's width and drawn a line on either side of the page so I know where I want my word to start and end. And then to find that midpoint, I've pulled the line down from the centre of the word "just" to space the rest of the word around evenly. I now wanted to consider how I could draw the word breathe to show that somebody is breathing through a process. So how could I make those letters look wispy and as if someone was speaking them? So I've started going in with small curved lines, really thinking about the movement of the word as if there's like wind blowing through the letters. That was what I wanted to try to achieve here. So I next want to enhance the lettering with some imagery. So I first wanted to go to stereotypical things that you might think of when somebody says to breathe. So for me, that's thinking about nature. So I've used some branch and leaf forms there to radially frame the words I've written. So another place people go for fresh air is the seaside. So just to link that in a simple form, I'm creating some small waves underneath the words and I'm going to sporadically place those all the way down the page. I've also popped a bit of sky in there with some stars above the image. So I'm going to be keeping it nice and simple in my design with a black and white colour palette. So when I'm happy with my letter forms and the placement of all the objects that I've drawn, I'm just going to go straight into that with a black pen. And I've thickened up the lines on the word breathe just to emphasise them further. Finally, to add some more depth to my image, I'm going to be shading from the top in a gradient all the way down to the bottom, so starting with a dark black pressure with that fading gradually into a grey. And then just to tidy up and to add a little bit more contrast, I'm going to erase around the edge of that white circle to focus on "Just Breathe," add in some further stars and highlights into the water.